Hello everyone and welcome back to the stream. And wow, you're seeing a slightly different angle than normal. Hold on. Slight adjustment there so you can see my face in the middle of the screen and you can see my sweat because I turned up the high definition camera moment thing. I fiddled with the camera settings a little bit today as it's high time that I try and make this look slightly less bad. And I don't know if this is working. Yes, it is technically a day off, but it is kind of birthday stream. Oop, now did I go too far? Everything is different with this thing. Cool, I think we can make this work. The goal being that it's a little high when I'm seated here, yeah. And then if I decide I want to lean back a little bit, I'm still in the middle. That's the hope, and I think it works. This being a new monitor that's as borderless as possible, there's actually like a teeny bit of a border, so the little doohickey that sits on there isn't as bad, but I might mess with it anyway. And yes, it is kind of birthday stream. My birthday was yesterday, for those who don't know. So I had a wonderful birthday. It was lovely, and I'm going to talk about it for sure. My big issue right now is I very desperately need to have food. So I'm putting in an order for banchan, which is going to cost me far much more money than I would like. Chicken katsu. Since when do they have katsu? That's new. Interesting. Should I not have the salad? Because I'm not really eating anything that's on the salad. I should get rid of the salad. That's an extra $10 I don't need to spend. That's an expensive salad, you know? 3 will do the hype train if you are interested in making that happen. I do need a drink, however, because I also do not have drinks. What the hell is Starry? They only have Pepsi. Fine. Ugh. Pepsi it is. Either that or sweet tea, and I don't know that sweet tea is going to work for me. Yeah, I can do this. All right. We'll pay. I am not going to pick it up. And minimal fees because I drop a plus or whatever the shit is. Hit continue. Pay the thing. Please pay. Give me food. Gib. I'm about to tell you all about my day. There it is. All right. Cool. It's the new replacement for Sierra Mist. I love that you put that in perfect pitch form, and I know that that's probably coming from some recording or something at work. That's hilarious to me. I love it. So yeah, no, today was absolutely crazy. Today was the first day of the semester for me. So we had a whole bunch of new students come in. A whole bunch of questions like thrown out there about everything under the sun. It ultimately was fine. It was just busy. And because it was the first day, we also had what we call convocation. It's not necessarily in every single school. It's a relatively older academic practice, usually for a lot of smaller schools, when schools were smaller, at least. And a lot of what would happen is basically everyone would gather together. The president would give you like a little bit of a overview of what's happening for the year, how are we going to do all this kind of stuff, and then the like provost would say some words, and you know it's basically a ceremony to begin the new academic year. In our case, because we're a music conservatory, we have some students that play music. We have a little bit of a mini concert. So it's nice. It just takes up a chunk of time at the beginning of my day because it was like 9:30 to 11. And of course, as soon as I walk in the door this morning and check my email, I have an email from one of my professors asking me to go to one of his classes today. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I can make that happen, I guess. Luckily, he only wanted me to show up for like a little bit, just to quickly do a little introduction and be like, hey, these are some resources that you can use. Here's some quick and easy, effective ways to use those resources. And that's kind of where we went, you know. It was really easy for me to just stop in and go off the cuff. So it wasn't bad. But nonetheless, like, day of, I've been talking with this guy for months, and day of, he's like, hey, can you come to one of my classes today? And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, sure, I'll make it happen. So, you know, it was ultimately fine. But yeah, like lots of students who obviously didn't know where they're going. They don't know where things are. You know, I had one student that obviously was lost, and I asked her, like, what are you trying to find? How can I, like, is there a way that I can help you? And she said she was looking for the student office, and I was like, okay, let's try that again. What are you trying to do? Like, what is the goal of you going to whatever office you're going to? Because the student office mean a lot of different things. Like, depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to get counseling? Are you trying to, like, find out about extracurricular programming? Are you trying to do registration stuff? Are you like, where is the question? So figured out registrar wants to do stuff for registering for classes. Like, okay, I know where that is. Or at least I thought I did. I went in and was like very confidently like, I'm pretty sure it's in this building, because I thought it got moved. And no, it actually wasn't one of the things that was moved, for once. So yeah, crazy busy day at work. Ultimately all fine. Like I said, it was a good day, but it was just crazy busy. Excuse me. Oh wow, that's gonna be here real fast. Excuse me. So yeah, but nothing quite compares to this last weekend. So this last weekend I had the craziest and crazy, amazing, weird, bizarre birthday weekend. Probably one of the weirdest weekends I've ever had in my life for a birthday weekend. And I am happy to say that it was a full weekend. It was very nice that it was. But so first, to start out, my wonderful, amazing, handsome boyfriend slaved over the stove on Friday, apparently, and made me one of the courses, or a couple of the courses from the last night's dinner on the Titanic, one of the final dinners that actually was served, not that was planned. And it was absolutely delicious. It was basically a steak with a tarragon béarnaise sauce, and what was the name of the potatoes? I never remember what they're called, but they were like individual little potatoes that were like kind of cooked and they were like half boiled, half fried in clarified butter, I believe, and they were like perfectly tender and beautifully seasoned. Like, they tasted so good. And he had flowers and candles, and it was so sweet. I had to get dressed, like I had to dress nice as soon as I got in, because I'm like, oh my god, this was wonderful. So it really did turn out great, and I had a wonderful time. So Friday was wonderful, and then of course my mother came down Friday night because we were going to be leaving for Martha's Vineyard on Chateau Potatoes, that's what it was called. We were going to be leaving for Martha's Vineyard Saturday morning at like 5 a.m. because we wanted to get to an 8 a.m. ferry to get over to the island and have like a full day of stuff to do, because we've done day trips to Martha's Vineyard but never stayed over, and those day trips always leave us wanting something, like we didn't get enough in. So we went ahead and we booked a little motel on the island. It was actually relatively cheap for everything around it. and for what it was, to be honest, it was really, really nice. We're definitely staying there again. Like, it was family run and owned, I think. Like, just this tiny little thing, couple of rooms right on the beach, nice little courtyard, super friendly staff, 2 queen beds, full kitchen. You know, it's old, you know, it's not a new thing, but honestly, like, for the even Cape standards, like, really good. So what I consider Cape standards, you know, the Cape being the not luxury vacation destination that I see it as, but other people look at it as a luxury and whatever. So, oh yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely send it over. Yeah, no, it was really good. We got there in time. We got out there, got to the motel, dropped our bags off and everything like that, and then booked it on over to Edgartown. It's one of the main 3 settlements that's on Martha's Vineyard. There are 3 big ones. There's Edgartown, Oak Bluffs, and Vineyard Haven. Generally, when you are taking a ferry over, you are coming into either Vineyard Haven or Oak Bluffs. So, but Edgartown is the oldest and probably the wealthiest, I could say, of the settlements, of the western settlements. We're going to say that. It's the oldest and the oldest, most established, wealthiest, etc., etc. It's very hoity-toity fancy kind of a deal. I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. The vibe has never been quite right for me. I don't know, like, I can feel to some extent that I am not totally welcome there sometimes. It's kind of how it feels. It's very weird because it is touristy still, nonetheless, even with the amount of old money that's there. It's still touristy, but it's not like, I don't know. It's always struck me as a little weird. There are definitely some not expensive stuff there to do, like the place we ate for lunch was really good, and you know, we've eaten there before. We really like it. It's very solid. The drinks are really good. Honestly, the best dark and stormy I've had in a really long time. But like, yeah, there are some, like, I'm sure almost all of you have probably heard of the brand Vineyard Vines at this point. It was started on Martha's Vineyard and is now a national brand. Like, one of their flagship stores is there. We're talking about like $110 shorts, and that's considered like a middle of the road kind of place in Edgartown. I don't know. Edgartown has always just rubbed me slightly the wrong way, and I've never really been that big of a fan of the vibe that's there. But we booked it over there. We hopped on the Chappie ferry over to Chappaquiddick, and we biked from there all the way out to My Toy Gardens, which is a Japanese garden that was built in, I think, the 1950s by some industrialist. Don't quote me on that yet. A small Japanese garden, trustees of reservations, owns and maintains. This doesn't really say a whole lot about how it was built. There we go. There it is. Late 1950s, Hugh Jones, Edgartown resident and architect of Japanese design, began to journey to design a garden that would become My Toy. Jones was its creator, designer, and caretaker, doing all the planting and landscaping himself until his passing in 1965. His family placed My Toy Garden in the hands of another Edgartown resident and local conservationist, Mary Wakeman. Mary continued the Japanese design of My Toy, overseeing its evolution into a beautiful garden that provided the additional benefit of free access to the public. It's not free, though. Or was that just a suggested donation? I'm not sure. So it's truly beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It does take a bit of a hike to get out there, and you are on a dirt road, or sand road, I guess is the better way to put it. At that point, we decided we wanted to go see Chappaquiddick's other relatively famous landmark, the infamous bridge, if anyone knows about the Ted Kennedy incident. So I'm noticing this is not quite centered either. Not happy about that. Come on, why aren't you turning? I just have to do that. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll just deal with things not being perfectly lined up. So we did go take a look for Chappaquiddick's other landmark with the Ted Kennedy incident, and didn't realize we were on top of it when we were looking for it. There's barely any cell service out there. And yeah, it's got a lot more barriers now than it did back then, I think. But we did that. We went back to Edgartown. We bombed around there a little bit. Was really surprised that about half the museums and stuff were all closed. Not even half, all of the museums, which was half the stuff we wanted to do. So, you know, we didn't get to see some of the cool landmarks, the cool museums. The Carnegie was closed, which sucked. But we still got out to the lighthouse, which was neat, and we got to kind of wander around town, which was neat. We were really fucking tired at this point, so we went back to the hotel, slept, woke up the next morning, and we went out to Aquina. So Aquina is like all the way on the southwestern corner of the island, and it is, the cliffs at Aquina are, the clay cliffs are absolutely gorgeous and amazing. They are sacred to the Wampanoag tribe, and the Wampanoag actually control a lot of the town of Aquina. It's not one of the major areas, not one of the major settled areas, but the Wampanoag tribe have a very, very strong presence there, and a lot of the businesses that are in that area and all the access there is controlled by the tribe. So was pretty happy to buy a couple things and support the tribe as I could. Beautiful, beautiful views. We got like buzzed by a Sopwith camel, which was fucking cool. Like, we were standing on the lookout, and this fucking, like, full-on Snoopy and the Red Baron, like, biplane. Not even biplane. It wasn't a biplane, because that has two. Like, just cruises on down around and just right in front of us. We didn't even get a picture because we were just, like, in awe that this thing was in front of us. It was really cool. Saw the Gay Head Lighthouse that's right there. Gay Head is another term for the area that is known as Aquina. Obviously Aquina is the Native American term for it, so most people use that. That was a trek, and we left there relatively early at one point to then go, on the suggestion of a friend of mine, to Menemsha, which is a small fishing village as part of Chilmark. Didn't realize that Chilmark is a dry town. There are those in Massachusetts still, thank you Puritans. Chilmark was a dry town, so we weren't able to get anything to drink because we desperately wanted to drink at that point. Like a drink, not water or something like that. That would have been easy. And the only restaurant that was really there, I mean, they had like a walk-up burger stand, but the only restaurant that was really there was like $70 three-course meals, which we were not ready to do, especially since the majority of that menu was seafood, and I hate seafood. So we then were just going to go to the beach, but the beach was covered in these little like krill bug things that were like in bands along the sand, and just like gross. Like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I don't know what they were, but there were these tiny little gross things that were just like in bands that had been washed up and were just dying or dead. They were like, the ones that were further up the shore were fully dead. The ones that were closer were in the process of dying, and then about 2 to 3 feet of the water was just coated in it. And like, someone even asked me what they were, and I was like, I have no idea, and I am not touching it. Like, ugh. Just keeping an eye on my delivery and making sure he actually gets to me. Where the fuck is he? Oh, he's on a bike. All right. Maybe he's on a bike. Sometimes they say they're on a bike and they're not actually on a bike. But he's kind of around the corner anyway. And so it begins. I also realized that I did not. There we go. Thank you for the 35 months, Digishell. Thank you so much. I guess we're starting that hype train now, baby. Thank you, Ragnarok, for your 31 months. Thank you so much. Were they green? No, they were clear. That's the thing. There were these tiny little clear things. I still haven't really figured out what they were. I did try to take a picture, but I still couldn't like figure out what it was. So yeah, I don't know. And thank you for the 32 months, Elliot, in progress. That starts our hype train. Birthday hype. Woo! Oh my god. Okay, Ragnarok, so you do know what I'm talking about. Even if you don't know what they are, like just the fact that somebody knows what this is makes me happy because like I felt like I was going crazy. I'm like I've seen them before, I think, but never this many. I thought they were sandflies maybe. Like that's definitely been a thing that I've run into further down the Cape. And Shell with the 100 bits to blast that hype train to where, like, oh my god. Perfect timing. It's right as you're getting on the train and the train goes. Oh my god. Woo! I wish I had some effects or something. I don't. All right. Wow. Thank you guys. Oh, it was so wonderful to me. So yeah, Menemsha was a bit of a bust. Which is a shame because I was directly recommended Menemsha as a place to go to the beach. I didn't actually get to do much swimming, any swimming actually. I did not put on my swimsuit at all. Like we thought about it and it just, oh wait, no, I did put it on and then we went and waited, and we put it on at the hotel, at the motel, waited in the water and then immediately saw that like more than 2 feet in or whatever was all like algae. And so it was, and I was like, I don't want to fuck with whatever's in that algae, like little snippety guys. I hate sea life. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see it behind glass, but like don't want to encounter it in the wild. So I was kind of like, this isn't the beach for me to go swimming in, is it? Because I'm a little too squeamish for it. So yeah, we ended up leaving Menemsha, going back to Vineyard Haven. And that took a while, obviously, because the buses are slow. There are great buses all around the island, though, and they are relatively inexpensive. We spent $18 each on a day pass for 3 days. Like, we had a 3-day pass. Will arrive with your order soon. I'm going to have to put a pause in a minute. So, yeah. Menemsha was a bit of a bust. Aquina was amazing. I really loved the views. Like, absolutely loved the area. It is sand fleas. Okay, I'm not crazy. Then the last day is kind of a story in of itself. I can start out with the kind of basic shit that we did. We basically just stuck around Vineyard Haven. I guess I should clarify, after we came back from Aquina and Menemsha, we went over to Oak Bluffs to get dinner, which I'll touch on the food in a minute. And Ragnarok, especially since you've been there before, you can probably judge my choices. And please judge them harshly, because I'll touch on that. But we decided to kind of stick around Vineyard Haven the last day, and I need to go get my food. So, BRB. Okay, I'm back. I'm back with a lot more food than I ordered. They sent me this whole fucking box. It's supposed to be 10 pieces of chicken, and like that is more than 10 pieces. Like that's more than 10 pieces. So I'm gonna have leftovers. Downside, I ordered Pepsi. You know, this is very much like, is Pepsi okay? And I ordered Pepsi because it isn't okay, but it's as close to okay as I can. And then they gave me Starry. So I guess we're gonna try the off-brand Sierra Mist, which is already off-brand Sprite, which I don't like. So what did you say, Elliot? It was an exciting new the hip new replacement for Sierra Mist. So I'm gonna try the hip new replacement for Sierra Mist. This is so stupid. Oh my god. Okay. Let me just that is there. Mark that as done. Make sure to give this guy a good rating or whatever. No? Can I give him a rating? He did a good job. Okay. I guess the tip works. So Vineyard Haven. Vineyard Haven was my favorite of the three towns, and I'll get into why later, but I was very interested in kind of just exploring Vineyard Haven. We found out, unfortunately, that the Vineyard Museum was closed yesterday, which sucked because I really wanted to go to it, especially because one of my former coworkers, his family was like instrumental in the island's history, especially as part of its black history. Which, if you don't know, Martha's Vineyard is actually a really big black vacation destination. Oak Bluffs especially has a very, very strong and vibrant black community, both of year-long residents and regular vacationers, right? It's really good. It was really good. And yeah, one of my former coworkers, his family is kind of like one of the reasons why, one of the big reasons why, like I had no idea how big of a deal his family is on the vineyard and with the vineyard's history until even when he was telling me, it didn't click until I like Googled his name and found out that there were like tons of articles talking about what to do with like the structure that originally was the church and all this stuff. It was just really cool to find out. So I wanted to go to the museum because apparently like there were artifacts there from the church and that his grandfather started basically and preached at. So I wanted to go see all this stuff. Unfortunately, it was not to be. So we just kind of walked around a little bit. We checked out some of the shops. We got some coffee, which was a little bit of an unfortunate mix-up. I did not pay attention to what was written on the side, and I grabbed my mother's coffee instead of my coffee, and it did taste great. I also just didn't like the coffee, unfortunately. It was a little strong for my taste, and I feel like I'm still dealing with some of the heartburn after effects of this. The bagel was delicious, though. I have to give them that. And then we just kind of walked around. That tastes fine. We just kind of walked around. We walked down the shore. There was a really, 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 really big yacht, like literal mega yacht. There was a fucking helicopter on the front of it, and I wanted to get a really good picture of it. So we kind of walked down the shore to get away from the harbor, so I could take a picture without all the boats in front of it. And then as we were walking back, at that part of the shore, like you're walking along private property, and here in Massachusetts, you can actually pass through private beach as long as you are passing through fishing or hunting. I think there's kind of a bit of a movement to add recreation to that and be sort of a catch-all to make it a little bit more of an open access beach kind of a deal. But there are rite of passage laws. There's nothing wrong with us going through there. But we are on private beach, and there are these big fucking houses that are like been there since the 20s kind of a deal, gigantic things. People in them have money, they're old money on top of that. And we kind of get toward the end of right before where the public beach is about to start again. And we had to kind of go into the water and around this little dinghy that was really, really gorgeous. It was like obviously hand built. My family comes from the Adirondacks, and there is a really deep tradition of building boats up there, and like just gave me a bit of an appreciation for seeing hand built sailboats, canoes, dinghies, etc. And like this one was just really, really beautiful. It was obviously built in about, I would say, like the 1920s, somewhere 20s, 30s. And we ran across the guy who owns the house and owns the dinghy, and his wife and his son were helping move it. And he chatted with us a teeny bit. We were just saying like we were admiring your dinghy, and he was like, well, thank you. And you know, his grandfather built it and stuff like that. That was neat. And my mother was actually wearing this shirt, right? So this shirt, as you can see right over here, is P-Town is what it says. And it's 1620. That's the Mayflower right over here. Over here. It's not mirrored properly. So it's 1620. That was the year that the Pilgrims landed in Provincetown first. They landed in the place that would eventually become Provincetown, determined it was inhospitable, and then went across the bay, Cape Cod Bay, to Plymouth, where they landed on Plymouth Rock, etc. Within the year. Like it wasn't much longer than that. So, but the original landing point was actually Provincetown, Massachusetts. And so this was created in 2020 to kind of celebrate the centennial, and I don't even know what the word is, the 400-year anniversary, more or less. And on the back, there is a list of all the passengers. And he saw my mother wearing this shirt and asked, are you a descendant? Like, are you a Mayflower descendant? And my mother, we were having a bit of a back and forth banter with this guy, and so she didn't really fully understand what he was saying and just kind of said, oh yeah. And then we just kept talking. But I caught onto it real fast because like every little alarm bell in my head of like, this guy is about to get into a dick measuring contest if we don't leave now. Because like, I just know these people. I know these people. Like this man showed up in boating shoes and khaki Vineyard Vines shorts and asked my mother if she was a descendant of the Mayflower. Like, just... come on, like fucking New England Wasp dick measuring contest bullshit. The irony being that no, my family is not a descendant of the Mayflower. We predate the Mayflower. I have an ancestor that was part of the original Richmond colony in Virginia in 1584, motherfucker. You want to talk about old roots in this Western foundation of the colonized nation? I've got you beat. But I wasn't gonna get into that because I didn't want to. But like that like perfect moment like there encapsulated just a little bit of like some of the frustration that I felt like I was having in Edgartown, which there was some of in Vineyard Haven. I think Vineyard Haven is a little bit more egalitarian, a little bit more like all over the place. But like it was just like a perfect way to be like, all right, I'm done with Martha's Vineyard. It's time to go home. Like, because after everything that we had experienced up to that point, like, I'm not saying that Martha's Vineyard isn't beautiful. It really is. There's a lot to love about it. I can understand that. I just don't understand why someone would want to go for a week, personally. And I admit that part of that is me being really spoiled by where my family vacations out in Truro every year, because we are literally on the beach with the cottage that we rent. So like, you want to go to the bathroom, like just run up to the cottage. You want to drink, run up to the cottage. You want to make lunch and then come back down to the beach, run up to the cottage. Like everything is right there. So the idea of like packing everything up and like taking a cooler and then going to a beach and staying put for the whole day with whatever is there feels anathema to me. And that one I fully admit is a me thing. But then the other thing is just like, I don't know. There are rich people in Provincetown, don't get me wrong, and those rich people are a problem, but they're not the same kind of rich people that are on the Vineyard, who are, very much feel like they want to be Nantucket and aren't. I don't know. And then like the food was not good. Edgartown, when we went to Sea Shanty, was good. Sea Shanty, absolutely solid food, excellent cocktails. Like, the food isn't the most amazing thing that I've ever had, but like, it's good food. Like, I felt like we got what we paid for in that moment, and it was right next to the water. It's beautiful. Like, it was good, and it was exactly what I wanted. That night, the first night we were there, I don't think I said Sea Shanty. I think I just said where we went was good. So you're totally forgiven. It was Sea Shanty though. Like, best dark and stormy I've ever had in my life. I swear to God. I know it's only like 2 fucking ingredients, 3 if you count the lime, but like, mwah, fucking good. Again, really good drinks. But that night we ate at the Black Dog Tavern, and you can go ahead and absolutely roast me over the coals for that. To be fair, we were very tired, and it was steps away from the hotel, so we just went where it was. And like, the place that was right next to the hotel was an absolute no. That was going to be like way too fucking expensive. But the Black Dog Tavern, if anyone has ever heard of Black Dog, especially if you're in the northeastern area, you probably have. It's a brand at this point more than it is an actual whatever it was originally. It's a general store, there's a clothing store, there's the pub, there's the tavern, there's sail charters that they do now. They own a fucking boat, like, not even a little boat, like it's a 3-mast schooner. It was the most expensive and flavorless macaroni and cheese that I've ever had in my life. Like, it was $25 mac and cheese that was so bland that I had to put salt and pepper to give it some semblance of flavor. And even then, it wasn't enough to make me want to eat the leftovers later. I didn't even want to think about the leftovers. The chicken was more flavorful than the macaroni and cheese. The chicken that was on it that I added to it. And that was just seasoned with salt and pepper as well. It was just so incredibly bland that it was almost painful. So that was a huge disappointment. The next day when we went to Aquino, we ended up getting just like burgers, and I got a burger, my mother got a fish sandwich at this little shack that was on the way up to the Aquino Overlook, the Gay Head Overlook, and it was delicious. I'm not gonna lie, it was punching way above its weight. Because it was just a tiny little shack, like a grill shack kind of a deal. And I was expecting like a Cisco burger kind of a deal. But no, that was really good burger, surprisingly, even for the price. So there was that. And obviously we didn't eat Menemsha because not paying $70 for a course of seafood that I don't want, especially when I can't even have a fucking drink, even a glass of wine. So we went back to Vineyard Haven, freshened up a little bit, decided we wanted to go out to eat. The night before, when we were trying to figure out what to eat, we ran into the general manager or the owner, I'm not sure, that was working the desk. And she was eating some Italian food, and she was praising this one restaurant in Oak Bluffs, Giordano's. You can go ahead and roast me again, Ragnarok, especially because you are Italian American and you probably know what I'm about to say next. So we decided to go over there and maybe give it a shot. We tried wandering around a little bit to see if there was something else that caught our eye, and there wasn't really a whole lot. Nancy's was another one that was bandied about a lot, but Nancy's was absolutely insane, and we decided not to bother with it. Oak Bluffs is kind of like the party town of the three. It's basically where a lot of the ferries drop off, and so a lot of people who are going just day trip is just like, you show up, you blast through Oak Bluffs, and then you leave. And that was very much what it felt like. To me, it felt like Provincetown for straight people, which was hilarious because it like started closing up and getting quiet around 8 p.m., which is when Provincetown starts like picking up. Oh, you love Giordano's. I'm about to ruin you. I'm so sorry. I hope you have a good shift tonight at work, Elliot. I hope it's smooth and simple. I'm so sorry, Ragnarok. I'm about to ruin you. Giordano's was perfectly acceptable. Like, it wasn't anything I would write home about. I'm not jonesing to go back, I guess is the best way to put it. I had basically just a bolognese, they called it a meat sauce, with meatballs It was what I would expect from most New England towns' general Italian place. Okay, then we're on the same page, I think. I can understand it's an institution. It was founded in the 1930s by this family, and it's been family owned ever since, family owned and run. I honestly think like the owner was chatting with a couple of locals next to us at one point. I'm pretty sure that's who he was. But the service was terrible, and I can't fault them for that. I know the island especially is running into this huge problem where there are so few housing options on the Cape in general, let alone the island, that finding the people, that paying people the wages that the businesses can afford won't get them housing. Basically, like the businesses cannot afford to pay them a living wage for what the island costs. And it's because the island has been so against any level of development or building up any low income housing that no one can afford to live on the island. And that has extended to the Cape, so no one can really afford to live on the Cape. And if no one can live on the Cape working a restaurant full time during the season, then no one's going to work there. And it's not because like I can't put all the blame on the businesses like you can for larger corporations, because we're talking about small mom and pop shops here and like little things that are probably not extracting a whole lot of profit, but are somehow expected to provide high level service for only a couple of months of the year. Like vacation destination employment politics are so very different from a lot of like regular year-round things where, you know, I don't know. I don't want to put all the onus on some of the business owners. Should they pay their workers more? Absolutely, if they can. They shouldn't be expanding to the point where they can't afford unless they're paying minimum wage. That's not okay. But at the same time, like, I don't know what the cost of living on the island is, but the cost of living on Martha's Vineyard is probably magnitudes higher than Boston. And Boston is one of the highest cities in the nation. Martha's Vineyard is just so fucking expensive because of how much housing is dedicated to the seasonal rental market and how much of it is just private vacation homes at this point, second, third, fourth homes even. So anyway, the service wasn't great, which didn't really give us a great impression on top of that. Like the waitress just fully ignored us a couple of times. I think she was just really busy because she had two big tables, but like we also were kind of like, she did not get me my refill of my Coke until I was finished with my meal. And even getting the refill, I had to like call her over and get her attention. It was a little embarrassing, but the food itself was just very, it was nothing more than, I think, you know, your local Italian place that serves things in tinfoil is kind of what it feels like. I know for those of you outside of New England, you may or may not have this. I didn't realize how much of a local thing that was until I left New England and found out that in some cases the local Italian place is Olive Garden. But like here we have like a mom and pop store in almost every town that just serves Italian food. It's all Italian staples, like, you know, baked ziti and chicken parm and stuff like this. And they have like a huge menu, everything served in like these tin foil like takeout containers basically, and it's like the takeout restaurant when you don't want to think about what you're going to make tonight and you don't want to spend a lot of money. And that's kind of the food that I got at Giordano's, is kind of what I felt like. It just wasn't anything that was special in any way that I wanted to go back. I'm sure there must be good Italian food on the island, because I mean there is good Italian, like I've had good Italian food in I've had better Italian food in Provincetown and places that I think are not as good as they used to be. Like I remember going to Ciro and Sal's a couple of years ago and saying the quality of this place has absolutely declined. Like I even remember when it was better when I was a kid and wanting nothing but chicken fingers, and it's better then than it is now. And even now I would still choose Ciro and Sal's over Giordano's. So I guess I was just expecting something more from a place that was like such an island institution, and that's a bit of a disappointment. Oak Bluffs as a whole did not really enchant me. The Flying Horses Carousel was kind of neat. We just went to see it. We didn't end up riding it. Apparently I rode it when I was like 4, but the Flying Horses, if anyone doesn't know, is the oldest carousel in the United States. I believe it was built in 1874, I think. First located in New York City before moving to Martha's Vineyard in the 1880s. The exact date of the construction of the carousel is not known. Artwork closely resembles that found in an 1870s catalog, suggesting the construction date between 1876 and 1878. In 1884, F.O. Gordon of New York City acquired the carousel and moved it to Cottage City, as Oak Bluffs was then known. So there we go. It was originally in Coney Island. Didn't know that. So there we go. Oh, I can totally see it. It's an old enough carousel that it actually still has the catch the ring game that you saw in the Haunted Carousel in Nancy Drew the Haunted Carousel, like where she has to grab the brass ring and she gets a free ride if she grabs the brass ring, right? They do that. But what I didn't know, because of the game actually, is that they have just endless rings that they just put in there, and only one of them is brass. So people like get competitive with it. I saw them like trying to grab multiple as they go by, and like there's this one woman who was like approaching this with the seriousness of like a pro gamer. She was just like on this carousel, fun, climbing music going, and the carousel just going, and she's just like waiting for the next one, and she's just going. I'm just like, whoa, that woman's got it down. It was kind of neat. I will say that was neat. And it was neat going around to see some of the landmarks that my coworker told me about. Like his, he didn't have a family member fight in World War I, but he did have a family member fight in World War II. He told me that there was also a family member that fought and was on the memorial for Korean War and the Korean War and the Vietnam War, but we couldn't find those memorials right out there. Then also there's the weird story of the statue of the Union soldier that was donated by a Confederate soldier. So that was interesting that I found out a little bit more about that. That's in Oak Bluffs, again, a historically black heavy vacation destination. Like, very weird. It felt weird. Didn't like it. So I guess the NAACP has actually tried to have it removed a couple of times, to no success. It's an interesting backstory. It's less bad than it sounds, but it's still not great. It's still a little like, I feel like different choices could have been made here. I feel like we could have had different choices. Like the statue itself, again, is of a Union soldier, so that's fine, but it was donated by a Confederate soldier that basically was recognizing that everyone was shunning him because he was a former Confederate soldier. And after donating it, the people in Oak Bluffs, or Cottage City at the time, basically decided that, oh yeah, okay, we'll put your, like, he had left the plaque blank, hoping that at some point it would be inscribed with the name of a Confederate soldier, and hoping that would help heal the divide of the nation in some kind of way. But, he still fought on the side of slavery, and they ended up inscribing it with his name after he donated it. And so I'm still sitting there looking at it being like, I feel like there's something better we could do with that. Put it in a museum and put something else here instead. Literally anything else. We got a whole lot of famous, important people on Martha's Vineyard that you can memorialize instead. A lot. So anyway, of the three, Edgartown I found too stuffy. Oak Bluffs was far too crazy, just a little too loud, a little too busy, and not welcoming in that way. Like the number of places that we went by that had like live music or like a bar kind of atmosphere just didn't feel like we were welcome in there. There were a lot of smokers. Again, these are mostly day trippers, so Oak Bluffs just didn't enchant me in any way. Vineyard Haven I felt like was the nice perfect mixture. Like there's some high places if you want to have a nice dinner, there's some low places if you just want like a burger by the side of the road. There's nice beaches. It's busy but not too busy kind of a deal. It was nice. The final thing I will say about Martha's Vineyard, because we are now an hour into this thing and I have not shut up about this trip. And this is because this is where I'm going with all of this, is just the rest of yesterday. You did miss the hype train, Witchy, I'm sorry, but that's okay. The hype train did go, it happened. So, you know, it was still wonderful. I'm still very grateful that you thought of it nonetheless. So what I will say about the trip home is that after we had all those experiences in Vineyard Haven and did all of those weird fun things, especially with that guy that decided he wanted to, you know, dick measure, do the New England Wasp dick measure thing, we were going to get on the 2:30 ferry. And the 2:30 ferry didn't leave till 3. We were half an hour late because someone crashed their car into 2 other cars on the ferry and somehow managed to get up enough speed or destruction or something that that car had to be towed off the ferry. And that is why we were late. Because they had to get a fucking tow truck. The police came. They had to tow this apparently totaled vehicle off of the ferry. Like, what the fuck? I don't know how you get going that fast. I really don't know. Like, how can you possibly... That's what I said. You'd have to be flooring it, like, back there in the terminal. You can't even floor it inside the ferry itself and get up that amount of speed. Like, what were they even doing? It is almost impressive. It's fucking weird. Floor it? Floor it? Very much that. So we got off late, and that kind of was already not fun. About halfway through the trip back to Woods Hole, they had to page 2 different people to go turn their car alarms off. And at this point, I'm just like, what is it with people in their fucking cars? Like, come on, can you not control your own goddamn vehicle? Like, just don't. What the fuck is happening? So 2 different people had to go fix their car alarms. And then about 3/4 of the way, the people who were seated directly next to us. First of all, we were seated on the uppermost deck, kind of behind this, I don't know, the part of the cabin, because the sun was coming down this way and it was really, really intense. So we didn't want to be in the sun. We wanted to be in the shade. And this was in the shade for that time. Then the boat turned and there was another spot that I saw that was in the shade. So I got up, grabbed my bags, and started moving over there. And as soon as I got up and started moving, the people who were directly next to us and some people who would come around the corner immediately started fighting. They started screaming at each other. They got up out of their chairs and were like posturing like they were going to start hitting each other. And then one of them was screaming for security. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And so I'm like booking it over to this other little area away from all of this. My mother was like, what about my stuff? And I like had to insert myself back into the fight, basically grab my mother's stuff and move aside, and then that kind of made it look like I was leaving because of the fight, but it wasn't. I was moving because of the shade, but the moving away from the fight was kind of an added bonus at this point. I don't know what was happening. I don't know why they were upset with each other. All I know is that it got to the point that the crew and one of the officers, the purser, had to get involved, and they literally had to physically separate these people. They had to escort them to different areas of the ship and hold them there. And then when we got to Woods Hole, they were escorted off the ship individually into the custody of the Woods Hole police. Or the Falmouth police, I guess. I don't know who controls it there. But like, 45-minute boat ride. It was a 45-minute boat ride. At this point, it was like 3 p.m., I was running on nothing but a coffee and a bagel with cream cheese, and we made the decision at that point to literally just book it off the book it off the Cape, because the bridge was clear. There was very little traffic. We were just like, book it off the island, off the Cape. God damn it! It's basically an island. It's a canal. So we got over the bridge, got back to Boston around 6 o'clock. While we were driving back, I got a message from someone who I was trying to sell my brother's bike to, that he was good to sell the bike, was good to meet. We made up a time, so we met at 6:30 in Watertown, sold the bike, then finally ate at about 7 o'clock. And that's the first food I had outside of the bagel and coffee from all day yesterday. So around 7 o'clock is when I finally sat down to eat. And while I'm sitting there, I made arrangements to sell my old monitor. So I then went from the restaurant with my brother, who had brought the bike down, over to Cambridge to sell the monitor, and then drove back to my house. And by this point, I had 15 minutes before I was supposed to originally meet with friends and go to a club. I said no. I went to bed early, and here we are today. And woke up and had the day I had today. So that was my birthday weekend and my trip to Martha's Vineyard. What the fuck? Other free random thoughts I'll say about the Vineyard. The bus system is great. People don't know how to use bus systems. It's hilarious how bad people are using buses. Like the number of people who did not understand basic bus etiquette, which I think should be fucking obvious. Like when we were in Aquina, like it was very clear that there was a line. And the back doors had opened to let people off the bus. And this one woman and her little snotty kid decided that they were going to just hop on and not pay or something. I don't know, just hop on the back. They were just going to get on. While everyone else is lined up to get to the front so we can scan our little passes or pay with fare, like whatever. And the bus driver is like making eye contact with these people as they're getting on the back. And he's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm with you, dude. Like, really? Like, don't get me wrong. I see it happen here in Boston all the time with the Green Line, with the above ground stops, with the buses, people just getting on crowded buses on the back. Like, it happens. And like one of three things will happen at that point. The bus driver will notice and call you out on it, tell you to get around the front and fucking pay. The bus driver won't notice and won't call you out on it, and you'll just get a free ride. Or the bus driver will notice and not care because it's going to fuck up his timetable. In this case, none of those last two things were possible at this point. It wasn't busy enough to be not noticed, and the timetable wasn't strained enough to not be noticed. And the bus driver was making eye contact with this woman. Eye contact. Like, bizarre. I also forgot to mention the day that we went to Aquina, we also did Polyhill Arboretum, which was really gorgeous and very beautiful. I would love to see it in June when it's in full flower, because the magnolia trees are probably amazing. So yeah, Polyhill Arboretum, really cool. I also didn't realize until we went that Polyhill Arboretum is named for the woman named Polly Hill, and it has nothing to do with a hill that is named Polyhill. The woman who created the Arboretum is named Polly Hill, and I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense. But really, really gorgeous place. Really love that. Yeah. And also the number of people who got on buses that didn't understand that they had to pay was a little strange to me. Like, they just apparently assumed that the bus was free. I don't know. It's very weird. Lots of entitled travelers, I will say that. And I'm so very glad that we weren't one of those people. Like, when I go someplace, I always do an excessive amount of research to make sure that I will be prepared for those kinds of things, because I never want to be caught off guard. The complicated thing was basically just trying to navigate getting from Vineyard Haven to Polly Hill, and then from then picking up from Polly Hill to get to West Tisbury, getting from West Tisbury to Aquina, and then getting from Aquina to Menemsha, and then getting from Menemsha back to Vineyard Haven, which was quite the trip. Not going to do all of that ever again. It's going to be like one of three. Okay, yes, we are going to play the game. It is time to play the game, I promise. Let me just quickly get the thing set up here. Excuse me. Ooh, apparently Steam needs to do an update or something. Just going to do that. Should fix that. Why hasn't Steam updated yet? Also, I didn't realize this was on Steam. There we go. Oh, I am fully aware. This is really bad. All right. And I broke it. Okay. Try this again. Now that I fixed the settings, maybe it will just work this time. Fuck yeah. It didn't work. Okay, I got it this time. Hold on. Should work. Should see it. Cool. Amazing. It's perfect.
Poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia.
This chicken is so good.
Cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called
She's so long-winded.
Tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way.
She's so long-winded, and what I wouldn't give to hear that voice in a new game. So we have a little sheep and a little leprechaun from there before, but here we go.
Best to enter an online sweepstakes and wind up winning a 5-day vacation in the Bahamas. Naturally, she invited her cousin George and me to go with her, and naturally we said yes. As luck would have it, Dad and I have to go to a father-daughter banquet on the day the vacation begins, which means I'm going to have to arrive a day late. But the ecotourism resort where we're staying sounds very cool, and the island is so remote you can only get there by float plane. White sand beaches, turquoise waters, and tropical sunshine, here we come.
That sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Who's ready for the oof game, where the only thing you can say is just oof?
There it is. Dread Isle.
It looks so small.
It'd take you a while to get anywhere down there on foot, I can tell you that. Unless you're super athletic.
How often do you fly charters out here?
Your two friends, the ones I flew out here yesterday, they were my first passengers in weeks.
Pretty isolated, huh?
Granted, a lot of these places shut down during the summer on account of hurricanes. But even when it's not storm season, I guarantee you, that island down there is pretty much a ghost town.
Bustling resort, huh? Welcome to the ecotourism resort.
George. Hi, slow down. I'm not going anywhere.
Hey! Hey! Hold on!
George?
Stop! No, don't go! Stop! No, come back! Come back!
George? What's wrong? What are you doing?
I was trying to stop him. We need help.
Oh boy.
What's happened?
Bess has been kidnapped.
Oh shit.
And when I woke up this morning, Bess's bed hadn't been slept in, and there was no sign of her. She never came back from going to watch the sunset. Here's the note the Gibsons left. I knew I should have gone with her, but I was just so tired. This is all my fault.
It is not your fault, George. The Gibsons, they're the people who own the resort?
Yes, but there's no sign of them either.
So, I just want to point out George here. And the way she looks, mostly because her face, I don't know how to put this. Her mouth is really wide.
Here's the note I found from the kidnappers. They obviously knew you were coming.
It sure looks that way. Wonder who El Toro is.
He was the Spanish captain of a fleet of 7 ships that sank near Dread Isle about 300 years ago. There's something about him in those books over there.
And I'm going to post in the Discord what George Fane looks like in a slightly later game, where they obviously had a better model. Come on. Discord has to update, apparently.
Have you seen anyone else on the island at all?
No, but then we really didn't have time to explore yesterday because we arrived so late, and I've been in here ever since I found that ransom note. I've been trying to get this satellite phone to work so we can call for help. So far, no luck. I feel so useless.
You can do it, George. Just keep at it. In the meantime, I'm going to look around. Maybe go out to this Sangre Beach place.
Bess took the only golf cart that worked. That one that's still here needs water or something. Anyway, keep me posted.
Her face is very, I don't know, weird. And like, you can see the redesign that they did, and it's like night and day. Bess is even worse, but I won't show that until we see her. Which unfortunately won't be until the end of the game.
What'd you forget?
Never mind, I'll check back later.
Sangre Beach, Shark Cove, Calamity Bay, Bat Steep, Blue Hole, giggity, Shark Diving Resort, Monkey Center, Dread Isle. So let's take a look at the list of demands. Find El Toro's treasure. Something else is buried. There's Shark Cove, follow the 15 men to the dead shaman's chest. Alright, we'll deal with that. What's this? A bird?
Stranger danger! Stranger danger! Stay back!
Ah,
Hey, my name's Nancy Drew. What's your name?
Cuckoo's my name! Talking's my name!
cuckoo. Huh. Double yellow-headed Amazon parrot like her grandmother. Pictured right. Her grandmother might be named Lulu.
Cuckoo. That's weird. You look just like this bird I met in England named Lulu.
Grandma Lulu! Pretty bird! Grandma Lulu!
You like being here?
Well, at least this one won't die.
Cuckoo want fruit! Fruit! Monkey see, monkey do, cuckoo want fruit! Fruit! Monkey see, monkey do, cuckoo want fruit!
Okay.
It freaked out like that with me, too. Probably tired of eating birdseed.
Cuckoo want fruit!
Aw, poor baby.
Painfully clear. I'll see what I can do.
A bat detector. Okay.
Looks like this thing needs a battery. Looks like this needs to be put together.
Well, I need a battery first, don't I? Sunny June's field research notes. Excuse me? Vervet monkeys native to Africa have lived in the Caribbean since late 1600s. Established colonies of their own on the islands of Barbados, St. Kitts, and Nevis. Troop was introduced to the island as part of a behavioral study in 1987 by the Dread Isle Primate Behavioral Research Center. Study's objective was to determine whether a free-roaming troop could be taught specific behaviors and vocalizations. Lack of funds caused the center to close in 2004, but the researchers allowed the firmly established troop to remain on the island rather than disrupting the animals' lives by relocating them. Since they still have run of the isle, guests should take care not to leave cabana doors open. Monkeys see this as an open invitation to wander inside and help themselves to whatever they find. Please do not feed or touch the monkeys. They are still wild animals. They refer to that as a ball. Now, we know the nautical flags. We've done that before. Book exchange. In search of the Seven Virtues Fleet. Wait, by who? Marnie Boomsong. Okay. Captain General Juan Ignacio de Santo Ana Domingo. That's a full Spanish name. Something a celebrity, known to sailors simply as El Toro. There it is. Spanish royalty's go-to guy when it came to transporting exceptionally valuable cargo from present-day Central America back to Spain. Expert navigator, gifted tactician when it came to naval warfare, eluding and, when necessary, defeating the pirates who often pursued his ships. 1665, he and the 7 majestic galleons under his command had become legendary. 4 years later, as summer in the New World came to a close, legend took a tragic turn, anchored in the port of Portobello. El Toro abruptly ordered his Seven Virtues fleet to sail for Spain despite increasingly bad weather and reports that infamous privateer Henry Morgan was in the area. The cargo he was transporting must have been extraordinarily precious for him to take such a risk, one that unfortunately proved disastrous. No one knows which fleet he encountered, Henry Morgan or the hurricane the fleet encountered, Henry Morgan or the hurricane which devastated the Caribbean islands days later, or perhaps both, but this much is known: El Toro, his crew, and the entire Seven Virtues fleet were never seen again. As with the Nuestra Senora de Atocha of the Tierra Firma fleet, half-century before, all had disappeared without a trace, and so somewhere hidden in the depths of the glinting blue waters of the Caribbean rest the remains of El Toro's galleons, and a treasure so valuable that scores of men lost their lives trying to protect it. Precise whereabouts remains a mystery, but someday a lucky soul, perhaps armed with only scuba gear, a metal detector, and a shovel, will find it. Someday El Toro will become a celebrity once again. I also see a thing about Mayan glyphs over there.
This closet has a pretty sophisticated lock on it.
Probably to keep out nosy guests. Oh, no offense.
Okay, that was a cheap shot. That was a cheap shot, George. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never been terribly good at these particular puzzles. So I'm, like I said, not entirely sure what I'm doing. Oh, it says blackout though. Am I going the wrong way? I think I'm going the wrong way. I will eventually get there. After I make this far more complicated for myself than it needs to be. That's how I roll, baby. That's how I roll. Oh, so close. Keep making the same shapes over and over again. Not helping anyone. I feel like I'm backsliding, but that's not true because getting down to 1 is actually worse than wherever I am now, I think. Huh. There we go. Nailed it. And now I have access to this.
Hey, I found some walkie-talkies. We should carry one with us at all times. That way we'll always be in touch. Here.
Thanks. Good idea.
This scuba gear might come in handy. Good thing I'm up to date on my diving certification.
Of course she is.
There's a map in here. That's weird.
What is?
I've solved the case in every spot that's marked on this map.
You think the Gibsons have been keeping tabs on you?
Kinda looks that way.
Probably just a coincidence.
It's a coincidence. You'll note on there that none of them are in New England. I'm not bitter, it's fine. There's only one in New England, and we're not happy with it.
A sailboat. At least it would be one if it had sails.
We can go sailing. For a pretty abandoned resort, this place looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Low water level, do not use until battery's water levels are at 100%, distilled water only.
Locked. Maybe the Gibsons kept the key at the front desk.
Have you got something?
Yeah, the sneaking suspicion that this whole thing, the contest best won, the trip here, the note from the Gibsons, I think it was all just a big ploy to capture one or both of you so someone could force me to find this treasure for them.
That's so diabolical. Who would do something like that?
Someone who doesn't much like me, maybe?
Well, let's see. If we take the number of crooks you've busted in the course of solving a mystery, factor in their friends, relatives, and co-conspirators, and add to that all the people out there who don't much like anyone, we're down to what? Like 1,000 people?
You're right.
Wow, thanks.
The only way we're going to find out who it is
By finding Bess. No problem.
I need a 9-volt battery. Have you come across any?
I'll keep my eyes open, but you may be out of luck.
Have you by any chance
We'll just
seen
run down to the store.
outside?
I've seen a key. I'm not sure if it's the key. Here, try it and see if it works.
Thanks.
Anything else?
I'd better get back to work.
You know where to find me.
Look at that, it was the key.
See where they store the sails.
Okay. Six batteries in a cart must be filled to precisely 100 milliliters. One press of the button dispenses 60 milliliters equally into any open tubes. That feels complicated. Alright, I need to put the food away. Ugh. I think I have just enough for a little bit tomorrow. Maybe for lunch, actually. I could just throw that in my lunch bag. That's true. Ooh, excuse me. Ice Creek. Phantom of Venice. Running out of pages here. Oops, excuse me again. And that's the tail end of Casa Malloy. Okay, here we go. There we go. Ransom of the Seven Ships. What do we got? Sketching this out. Okay. That should be good enough for me to figure it out with the thing here. All right. We have 7, 9, 2, 0, 4. 79204. Easy peasy, right? Do that. Hold on. 79204. Easy peasy. Now let's do this thing. Oh, what? Okay, that one's done. That one's too much. Never mind. Hold on. Suck it back. Oh, that resets everything? Boo. Okay. That's to 100 then. That's too much. And the only way to get that to work is by doing all of them. Officially turning that off. Now the 80s need $20 each. There we go. Those off. These two need 30 each, so that, and then this needs the full 60.
That should do it.
Ba-da-ba-ba. I'm amazing. Excuse me. Where am I going again? Shark Cove. Which is where? I can't remember. Ah, good. I can crash this thing. I'm happy about that. I don't remember where Shark Cove is. Is there a map that I can take with me? Shark Cove is to the south. Okay, here we go. Aha. Here we go. Start below the W and take 3 paces to the south. No, okay. I'm gonna assume this is... no. I know there's a... there we go. That tree thing here is our W. 1, 2, 3. Each object tells you how many paces to walk in the direction directly opposite. This chart tells you how much further to walk. Once you get to your final destination, dig in front of your feet. Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of this real quick. Okay, faces to the south. It says ×1, and that says 3. So 1, 2, 3. Like it's 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That's 1. So only 2. 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. 3, and that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 times 3 is 12. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 times 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Why sometimes it doesn't take my thing.
It's locked.
2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2. And that should be where we... Wait, where do I dig? Dig in front of your feet. Okay. Nope. Go back. What the... Right click to dig. Okay. We found a box which has a journal. We now have multiple journals. Oh, this is about monkeys. Okay, this is just like a instruction manual to win against the monkeys, but not really. Okay, what's this other thing? Oh, those are not in English. Let's try some brute force. 3 letters like that is either A-N-D or T-H-E. I think it's T-H-E because this looks like fleet. Probably, given the context. Interesting that it's also in English, just saying. Two? Four? I think that might be where. While. That's an N, so in. This one is probably an and as well. That's anchor now. That's dropped. Look at this. Waited out. The Tempest. In the black of night. With hurricane winds wailing and giant waves pounding, I ordered my fleet to change course and make for land, but with this island in sight, the Caridad foundered and disappeared into the sea, while the Custodad was set ablaze when lightning ignited her sails and sank amid the smoke and flames. The remaining 5 ships managed to reach the island, where we dropped anchor and waited out the Tempest. Cool. We did it. Everything's got, every glyph's got a letter. I didn't miss one. For some reason I thought it was like written in once you got it right. It's not. Okay. Now is it the same every time? Can't remember that. Like a I don't think it's the same every time. Yeah, they look like they're different. Okay. This one's a little harder. Let's try that as THE. That might be 2. Might be of or on. Is that of or is that on? I don't see that showing up anywhere else. That doesn't make it easier. That makes it harder, actually. Because I have no other frame of reference here. I think this might be N, because not 1. That makes sense to me. Which case, this will be of. Okay. I think this is only, and I think this is light. And dawn, I suppose then? Light of dawn, that's a phrase. The light of dawn revealed. Okay. Catastrophic damage. Catastrophic damage. Only a third of my men survived. Worse, not one of my ships is salvageable. None shall ever sail again. We are shipwrecked. The only hope we have of ever leaving this accursed place is to be seen by a passing ship. Lest it be a pirate ship, I have undertaken to hide our cargo. As a loyal servant of the king, it is my duty. Congratulations on another successful Taco Tuesday. Oh, that was weird. I went the wrong way. Ugh. Ugh. Lots of noises happening at this moment. Ugh. Oh, whew. I think that's and in this case. This is and. It doesn't look like a the in the sense that the other ones that have that don't do that. I am good. I'm okay. I'm so glad you still have your June 11th limoncello. Unfortunately, I have almost run out of my homemade limoncello, so I started another batch. This time with 100 proof vodka instead of Everclear, because the Everclear was too much. Way too much. Lesson learned, you know? Lesson fucking learned. Alright, this looks like the. It shows this exact thing shows up a couple of times. So that might be the attempt. This is probably attempt. Manned. No, that's not it. How do I clear that? There we go. Yeah, so here's the thing. Limoncello, when you make it, has to be made with a very high proof and neutral spirit, and it doesn't get higher proof and neutral than Everclear. So I made limoncello with Everclear. What I was told by the person who helped guide me a little bit at work, who has made his own limoncello several times before, so he'll often do half and half Everclear and 100 proof vodka. I've decided this time to just cut out the Everclear altogether and just go with 100 proof vodka, only because it might be, it's just going to be less harsh altogether, and we're going to see how that is. If I don't like it enough, then, like, if it's not enough, if it needs to have a little bit more bite, I can start mixing in the next time I make it after that point. I think this is, yeah, and this is treasure. Treasure. Open. Guessing that's seal. 7 ships. There we go. Ships. Set sail. And so 7 pieces shall open the seal. I have tasked each surviving ship's crew with hiding a single item, its location known only to them and to me. Securing the treasure itself shall be my task. Alone, I write in English. Ah, there it is. So I have a dumb thing. My task alone, I write in English so that no one here with me will know how to find it. In this manner, any attempts to force the location of the treasure from my men will be fruitless. I can't turn the page for some reason. Did I miss one? No.
These sections are still encoded, and in a very weird way. Maybe I should keep my eyes peeled for something that will help me break the code.
Okay. Caridad, wait. October 69, somber day as respects were paid to the final resting place of the Caridad, 1 nautical mile due southeast of the isle, an iron chest buried under a raging sea. Colorful 9 by 9, no colors do repeat in any group, column, or row, forever honoring the 81 brave soldiers lost at sea. Number 69 befriended one of the families of bats that call this island home their something, and winged antics provided much needed laughter from him, and as the creatures something attracted to blah. The cave, which they call home, has become a safe haven to us. Explored the interior of the isle, searching for supplies. From its something, we found the most worthy. Half a blah 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 guides the way to a flying dove and a watery grave. Discovered a bounty of seafood at Halfmoon Reef. Divers swim down to the secret entombed something. 2 form a perfect square times 3. 3 create 4. 4 makes 5. Then they return to the surface, prize in hand. Challenge issued today by Generosidad's cabin boy, Manuel the Helmsman Andres, for ownership of a hammock which washed ashore. Pointing to 2 300-kilogram rocks, Manuel proposed that whoever lifted one of them first would win. Andres, the stronger by far, quickly accepted. He had not yet budged his rock when Manuel, having used something or of a 50-foot rope, raised his with ease and walked off with the hammock. August 70, we arrived on this island exactly 1 year ago today. As dire as our situation seems, my men find hope in the fact that many ships have suffered the same fate as ours. Sun shines on the day with a particularly glorious galleon was claimed by the sea. Her survivors were rescued. We continue to believe, as we must, that we shall be as well. It's now been 3 years, dark days, the morale of my men has dwindled, a shade is left, nothing more, scattered across the sand. Will the sun ever shine on its iron form once again, or must we live in shadow? March 7, 1674. More losses at the something when a group of men dove in and lost their bearings. Danger, heed this warning. Death awaits all who enter the caves unprepared. Poisonous guardians of the deep strike with no warning. Stay away. Only those with something will find their way. Dissension rising between my remaining men. After all this time, I refuse to let them come to blows now. Hence, I've created the 2-rule code of conduct, bring the order to the 6. Those who carefully read, follow the rules orders, will have doors open for them. Those who do not will be shut out. May 1676. Death came again last night. Our numbers grow ever fewer. What a blessing it would be for the sands of time to run out for all at the exact same time. I am alone, the last survivor of a forgotten tale. 10 years and not a sign, not a glimpse of rescue. The other pieces are safely hidden. I place the final one amongst these pages. My strength weakens. This shall in all likelihood be my last entry. I can only hope that this journal is found and the treasure to which it points is turned over to Spain. On that day, may honor once again belong to the Siete Virtudes fleet, its loyal captain Juan Ignacio de Santo Ana Domingo, El Toro. To the one who has entered here, you must now find your way out. 19 choices lie before you. Misstep seals your doom. Aged bronze is green, iron rust red, cutout plates, and a bunch of whole things. And there looks like a monkey's paw. I guess we gotta go talk to the monkey. Monkey. Nancy's gonna go back and be like, yep, it's because of me. Wait a minute, did I just see? No.
How's it going?
I followed the directions on the kidnapper's note and dug up El Toro's old journal.
Does it tell you where the treasure is?
I think so.
You think so?
The problem is, the journal's in code. I've decoded some of it, but not all of it.
Always a catch.
That's all I got for now.
Good luck.
Okay, well, moving on. One thing it said was the Caridad is 1 nautical mile due southeast of the isle. One nautical mile southeast. Damn it! Ooh, we're really cooking along, huh? That's a shark. Ooh, okay. So we aren't going there. A nautical mile southeast. Oh! What's this? Something. Ah, we found the bouncy part. Because yes, the ocean is bouncy, if you didn't know. It's also ironic that you bring up the Jaws theme, because Martha's Vineyard is where Amity Island is actually. Oh, look at that. Wish you were here, Redondo. That's something. I did not jump off Jaws Bridge. We didn't actually go to that beach. Oof. We did go... Did we go past it? No, we didn't even take the 13 to Edgartown. When we went to Edgartown, we took the 1 because it was a more direct route, and we took the 1 back, so we didn't even go along State Beach. This is just how to do the thing. Oh, hey. Let's see what's down here, right? There is, in theory, a boat. And look, the boat. Oh, can't go that way, apparently. Ah, a shork. Multiple shorks. That's neat good. Where's the fucking iron chest that was apparently sunk down here by the survivors? It looks like there are multiple boats here. Hold on.
Oops, don't want to go bugging those sharks.
Fair enough. But I do want to find out where this stupid chest is. It's probably important. I'm gonna have to pause real quick. UHS hints. Ransom 7 ships. Let me just see what I'm supposed to do in this moment. Diving. Wreck of the Caridad. Where is the Caridad's chest? Ah. You need a metal detector. Never mind. It did say it was iron, didn't it? Well, we found the, found it, so. You know, at some point maybe I'll have to. Like, I would like to go back and actually swim a little bit, like. Ah, that's not fair. I would like to swim a little bit, like, even if it's not at State Beach, somewhere on the island, because the fact that I didn't swim at all at Martha's Vineyard when I was at beautiful beaches, like, very frustrating. I would also love to spend some more time out on the beaches at Aquina. Ooh, orca, okay. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Eventually we will find all of those. Oh, there's a flag there. The flag didn't do anything? Ah. More orca. The number of times that I played this game and accidentally run into the shore, like the full shoreline, it's unfortunate. Like when you're sailing around and you just are going so fast, you just crash into the fucking, like, just beach the boat. It happens, alright? Oh, hey, there's a boat there. That's a motorboat. At some point we will have all of this. Something by Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, another mini island? Or another part of the island? Hard to tell. No, it's another small island. Is there a place to dock here, or are we just gonna crash? I don't remember this. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. How many more do we have? We gotta be close. 2 more, I think. Okay. Fuck you, shark. Dick bag. I want to get all these things. Messages in a bottle. Hopefully without destroying the boat. Don't hit fucking shark. I'm gonna sink. How did my boat get so badly hit that time? Jesus. Oh, there's another one. So close. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the save button. Oh, it's done though. Never mind. Back to the shore. No more traipsing around here. We have hit the end of our bullshit. Thank God it resets every time, because Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence wasn't broken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word Lenore. This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word Lenore. Merely this, and nothing more. Alright, but there's stuff here. Deep in sand before the shark seek this. An egg. Easter egg. It's an Easter egg. Deep in sand before the sharks. Easter egg. Well, we've seen a boat that doesn't belong here, and we need to go talk to the monkeys, apparently. I don't know what that was for. Oh. Gonna look at the...
Bess! Whoa!
Who are you?
My name's Nancy Drew.
What are you doing here?
I'm looking for someone.
Who?
A friend, Bess Marvin. She disappeared last night.
There is no Bess Marvin here.
Look, do you think you could let me down? It'd be a whole lot easier to talk if the blood weren't rushing to my head. Ow!
Sorry.
But that's her shoe and the golf cart she was driving. Are you sure you didn't see the people who kidnapped my friend?
I was fishing last night, far down the beach. I see no kidnappers. I hear no kidnappers.
Is there anyone else here with you?
There is no one. I am by myself.
What did you say your name was again?
My name is Johnny Roll. I am from Kingston, Jamaica. I have come here to fish and to be alone. When I'm tired of fishing and being alone on this island, I will go to another. That is my story. There is no more to say.
How come you're so intent on being alone?
That is my business. Why do you ask all these questions?
I just thought you might need help.
I do not need your help. And I am not alone on this island. There are monkeys. They like to steal things. What they cannot steal, they destroy. One day I find them in my boat, tearing up whatever they can. As I am chasing them away, one bites me. These monkeys are dangerous. They have ruined the motor of my boat. I cannot go anywhere until it is fixed. That is why I set this snare to catch them before they do more damage.
This is a very authentic Jamaican accent.
There are? Where are they? Who are they? Tell me everything you know.
I only see them sometimes when I am fishing. Always from a distance, moving through the trees. 3, maybe 4 men. They do not bother me, I do not bother them. But if this changes, as you saw, I am ready for them.
What about a phone or a two-way radio? Do you have one?
I have none of these things. You go now.
Literally Monkey Island.
How can I help you?
I'll
Hey.
go, but I'll be back. You can pretty much count on it.
Do as you like.
In fact, you've got a thing that I need.
Very persistent.
Would it be okay if I borrowed your metal detector?
No, my boat and my metal detector, they are my only true possessions. And unlike my boat, my metal detector is not broken. I give it to no one.
Please, Mr. Roll, it's very important. My friend's life may depend on it. I won't break it, I promise.
You ask me a question, I give you my answer. Now you may leave.
Not without that metal detector. I'm afraid I'm just gonna have to bug you and tell you to give
Blackmail.
it to me. Sorry.
Here is what I will do. I will give you the metal detector. But first, you must give me the compass the monkey with the notched ear stole from
Monkey.
my boat. Do you agree?
You've got a deal. I'll be back with that compass in no time. I hope.
Do you have my compass?
No, but I wanted to ask you something. Would you by any chance have a 9-volt battery that I could have?
I do. But if you want it, you must earn it. While fishing from my boat, I lost a beacon which I must have to navigate.
Is your beacon a red flag?
Snagged on some rocks as I passed by and was pulled off. By the time I realized it was missing, the monkeys had damaged my boat and I could not go back out. And so you must retrieve it for me. Sail directly north on this beach until you see the 2 sharp rocks. If you sail between them, you are sure to find my beacon.
I can do that.
Then the battery will soon be yours.
I don't know who this Irish person who heard a Jamaican accent once is, but it's not a Jamaican person, that's for sure. So there's clearly a sign there that says something, and it would be great to know what it says so that I know where I was going. Woo! And so I don't do that. This is the blue hole. I don't want to go to the blue hole. I want to go to the monkeys. Monkey. I'm gonna go into the fucking water. Oh my god! Oh, wrong way. Monkey. Ah, this looks promising. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't trust anything made by this person, let alone jerk chicken. But absolutely not any jerk chicken. I doubt the seasoning would have much of anything to do with it. You eat it and it just tastes like corned beef. He tries to make jerk chicken, and every time he does, he accidentally makes corned beef and cabbage. Hello, little man.
I hear you know how to play a game.
Damn. Fuck you. I don't remember which ones are the best ones. He is fast. I'm winning, though. Oh, I'm out. Oh. Right, you've only got 8, bro. I gotta remember that. Fuck you. I win.
I know who'd like that guava.
Yeah, but also we need this. So we have to play the games multiple times and they give us prizes. This one has babies.
What's your name? Do you really know how to play a game?
Oh, it's 1 against 3. That sucks. Damn it. That small child monkey is going to win. I'm gonna be mad about it. Go back to start, bitch. Back to start. Alright, I made it past the go back to start first time.
That didn't end.
Damn it. If you'd gotten a 5, I would have been fine. Watch it, monkeys. You are small enough that I can punt you across this island.
Do you really know how to play a game?
Okay, strong start, strong start. Stronger start. I don't like this green one. He's winning. Back to start. This is rigged. It's always rolling high. This is rigged. I literally just have to hope that the green monkey falls on the 25 right now. So I roll at 1. Hey, land another 25. I have a chance. Okay, we might be able to win this. We might be able to win this. Hold on. Fuck, I landed on the 25, and now I'm back to start. Fuck me. All right. I spoke too soon, apparently. God damn. That's just not fair. Both of you go back to start. Can I back out? I can. Okay, because I was just losing that game. It wasn't gonna work. I'm just gonna fucking
Would you?
rage quit. Nancy Drew that just rage quits with going against 3 fucking monkeys. Yeah, all of you go back to start. All of you go back to start. No one wins. What if I just picked up my piece and put it in the finish line? Would they just... They probably would kill me or something. Who knows? Okay, we landed right before the bad place, but the yellow one's getting across. Mom is picking up the pace. She's going for it, and I land on the bad spot. Fuck. This either has to go really poorly for that yellow one and everyone else, or I'm going to rage quit again.
Hardcore is a mega.
Yeah, we're just cutting that out.
All right.
Just keeps doing it. I mean, this is the worst.
I hear you know how to play a game.
Yeah, they know how to cheat at games. Fucking Christ. Oh. This is rigged. The riggery. Rigomoris. Girl. I'm watching you, Blue. right before the Nightmare Alley. Hardcore to the mega. Hardcore gamer girl aesthetics. Well, then I can bite my controller. Am I sexy now? Shouldn't do that. This is a matte finish. That was less than useless. I cannot get a 4. I got a 5. I win! I win! Ha-ha! Suck on that, monkeys! A stapler, a Cocoa Kringle bar, and a guava. Well, the guava we can use for the parrots, so there's that.
I would like to play a game. Would you?
This one is interesting. This one's hard, though.
My turn.
See, I can't pick this one, this one, this one, or this one, or that one, actually, even. I have to pick something that isn't bordering green. So you want to make sure that you don't lock yourself in. Try to lock someone else out if you can, even.
That looks right. That should do it. Now I go. Your move.
Be down to the wire.
Let's see.
Nope.
Didn't
I lose. I'll throw things at the monkeys. At least this time I'm losing because skill issue, you know? Still a good opener. Better than their opener, so.
Your move. My turn.
Ahead doesn't necessarily mean good things yet. Damn, you took the one I wanted. And now you can have that one. I think I win. Nailed it. Ooh, hello. Versus a fucking cheeky monkey. I know you said a cheeky fucking monkey, but I'm saying a fucking cheeky monkey. Crash, crash. What do I go this way? What is this way? Did I just take a shortcut to go the long way back? I did. I did. I am very smart. I am so smart. Look at how smart I am. This is why I want a map that I can look at. Nancy Drew Tokyo Drift. Anything new?
We are definitely not alone on this island.
Are you all right? You sound weird.
I've been hearing footsteps, like people creeping around outside. They're always gone by the time I go to look, but after a while I'll hear them again, and it's starting to get to me.
Does it sound like several people or just one?
Several people. Maybe it's the kidnappers.
Look, even if it is, and you still don't know that for a fact, you can't let it stop you from working on that phone. Calling for help may be the only way we're going to get off this island.
You're right. I'm acting like an idiot. From now on, no matter what I hear outside, I'm just going to ignore it and focus. Although if you could somehow make the noises stop, I'd really appreciate it.
You find something else?
I drove out to Sunny Beach.
Any sign of Bess?
Well, I found her golf cart, empty, and I saw one of her shoes. And then I discovered that a fisherman named Johnny Roll is camping there. He's kind of a beach bum. He's also very paranoid.
You found one of her shoes on the same beach as a paranoid beach bum? I don't like the sound of that. Does he know anything about Bess?
I don't trust him at all, so of course I don't believe him.
But I'm not sure I believe him.
I don't blame you. Some fisherman just happens to be camping on the very beach where Bess disappears? That's way too much of a coincidence for me.
He says he's seen other people on the island, unfriendly people.
He could just be saying that to divert attention from himself. Without even meeting this guy, I don't like him and I don't trust him. I think you should keep an eye on him.
Did you know you can play games with the monkeys here on the island?
I read that they were taught to play games. You've actually played a game with them?
And won, although it wasn't easy. They even gave me a prize, which turned out to be something they'd pilfered.
They steal things, huh? Wonder what human taught them that.
I figured out how to work the sailboat so I can get to all the places mentioned in El Toro's journal.
I've never been big on sailing. All those ropes and winches and halyard things. But you know who absolutely adores sailing? Bess. I mean, getting kidnapped is bad enough, but missing out on sailing in the Bahamas? Boy, is she gonna be ticked.
That's all I got for now.
Good luck.
Well, we have one thing.
Hi, Cuckoo. Wow, what an elaborate perch.
Cuckoo love perch. Want to see a trick?
Sure.
A trick for a treat. A trick for a treat. Quid pro quo.
And by treat, you mean...
Fruit. Cuckoo wants fruit. 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 Fruit.
Okay.
But for you, I happen to have
Just
fruit.
so we're clear, if I give you some fruit, you'll do a trick?
You got it, sister.
I've got a treat here.
You got it, sister.
Trick.
Treat first. Treat first. Cuckoo want treat first.
Wow, just it demolished the guava.
Prepare to be amazed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, cuckoo rocks.
Okay. Sure. Your grandmother's better than you. Just saying. I mean, Lulu is the significantly greater bird on like every level. What's kind of fun, and by fun I mean not, about the boat here is that you can't land anywhere else. You have to land at the resort. You fucking whale, don't. You have to land at the resort. You cannot land anywhere else on the island. Even if you know how to like pull the boat up on the beach and just launch from there, which isn't that fucking hard, because I've done it. Just it's so funny to me that this game has such weird and dumb bounds that it sets on itself. It's the best way to put it. Somewhere over here there's a couple of rocks with a flag in between them. Just don't remember exactly where it is. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay, got it. Thank you. Wait. Back to shore. Unfortunately, we are now going into the wind, so we have to attack. Because we can't just stop at Sangre Beach and walk on foot and then deal with the boat later. We have to get back to the dock. Here we go. Nailed it. Off-roading in my golf cart, electric golf cart that's run on water. Not entirely sure about that.
Do you have my compass?
There you go. Still works and everything.
Very good. You may take my metal detector, but tomorrow you must return it to me. That is all?
So all you do here is fish?
Sometimes at low tide, I walk the beach with a metal detector, searching for that which the sea has left behind.
What's the most interesting thing you've ever found?
One day I find this. I do not know what it is.
Actually, it looks vaguely familiar, but I can't quite place it.
I think
Yeah,
it must be very rare.
that is from.
I'm rich and do not even know it.
No, it's from a vault underneath a house in Pennsylvania. Moon Lake, I think.
I
So,
retrieved your beacon for you.
I think that's what that's for.
Here you go.
Good.
Not 100%, don't quote me on it.
Here is your battery.
Thank you.
Bittery. Now he's French.
That is all.
That's it for now.
This is good.
Wait. There we go. Something's not right. I'm missing something. Okay, let's see if we can do a couple of things before I close up for the night, because we are past time, but I started late and I talked for a long time. You know, I woke up this morning and was rather upset at the fact that it was Tuesday and not Monday, because Tuesday I have to go to the gym. And I went to the gym and had my training appointment, and it sucked, but I had a good time nonetheless, and it was fine. But because it's Tuesday, that means that I get to have a short week, which is nice. So I'm not totally sure what I'm supposed to do with this. Just besides, you have to put it somewhere. Put everything somewhere. That's the hard part. Like, I think there's only like one place to put this though. Isn't there? Like one place. So because of that, it's pretty much set down here. This is definitely how electronics work.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Who wants to go shark diving?
Nope.
Who put that there?
Don't question what the bird is doing, by the way. Just let it bird. Oh no, this isn't a monkey thing. This is, luckily is not that complicated. That'd be hilarious if it was a monkey doing this. The game is schooling me on PCB design, though. That's for sure.
Water everywhere. Justin, make some apple. This smells funny.
It's a bird. Even better. I mean, yeah. We do have Cuckoo, not Lulu. Lulu's a better bird.
That parrot is totally awesome.
Is it? Okay. Keep telling yourself that, honey. Keep telling yourself.
Janie, stop teasing your brother.
Ugh. This is a pointlessly difficult puzzle with no boundaries.
When in
Just
doubt, whack 'em on the snout.
put them together somehow.
Who wants to go shark diving?
Just one away. Just need to figure out how to make this work.
You're in a tropical paradise.
Those two things are just far enough away from each other that make me feel like I need to use them somehow.
That looks funny.
Ah! Okay. I'm gonna cheat a little. Hold on.
Who wants to go shark diving?
I'm pretty much there. I literally am like pretty much there. I'm just missing the last couple bits. Ugh, okay. And then this right here. No, not that. I was so close.
That looks right, but I still need a battery.
You have it. It's already in your inventory, darling.
Looks like this thing needs a battery.
Okay, there we go. And we need to go back to the shipwreck.
It's hot outside.
Can't get very far underwater without air.
No air, no diving. Damn, I hate that. Come on, let me leave the dock. The wind is rapidly shifting, so we're not going to fuck with it. Just going to go in this general direction and hope we get where we need to go. Past it. It's right here. Okay. Aha, so not everything will be useful. It's right before the sharks. We should find a Easter egg of some kind, according to this thingamaboob. Well, that's cool, but not what we're looking for. Okay. Ah, this looks helpful. It's a Sudoku puzzle. And it's one that I think I can try and solve without... Or, hold on. Here we go. This is what I'll do. This is what I'll do. Take a picture and solve it on my phone so I don't run out of air, because I've had this problem before. And if you run out of air, you have to go back to the thing to refill the tank every single time. It sucks ass. So we will not be doing that. Okay, so first things first. Going to see what we can do. Nope, that doesn't work. Yellow and greens are probably my best bets to start out with. It's their most frequent. Although that... No, that's not helpful. Those two... Nope. Oh, this is rough. Okay, hold on. I think it's just basic Sudoku though, so if I can just solve even one of the rows or the columns, not necessarily the squares themselves. I am slow but steady at these kinds of things. I'm not very fast, but I can get them done. It's just gonna take me a while. Okay, I have one. Okay. Which means, nope, not ready to do any more than that right now, I guess. Yeah. That's basically it. Which I know this doesn't really give you guys anything to look at, so I do apologize on that front, but I really do not want to have to deal with the mechanic of rowing back to the main dock and the main island over and over again to get more air every time Nancy gets a little low. And it will happen a lot faster than you think it will. It sucks. Okay, I've got another. That's there. Which means that's right here. Come on. Finish filling in. Okay. I can't solve any more for that right yet. Yeah, not yet. Okay, so we got a little further. Nancy has a pause button. She doesn't need to breathe. She doesn't need to breathe. I feel like that's not the right color. How did that end up so orange? There. Kind of fixed it. Not that that really needed fixing at this moment, I will be honest. Probably could have done without it. Still too many options there. Too many options there. God, I hate these sometimes. They're just so slow. I mostly hate that I'm doing this on stream because it's not interesting for anyone to watch. I can't make this interesting either. This is just going to be awful. A cadaver look, you know? Really get that sunken cheek moment, you know? Full buccal fat removal. If you let the buccal fat rot off your body, does that count? I mean, it's a free way to get the surgery, right? What am I missing here? There's something that I'm missing solution-wise. I'm looking at greens here, these greens. Can't put anything there yet. There, nothing there. I don't have anything, any rules that are stopping me from using either of those two spots. That won't work. And either of those two spots either. That's all. Well, I guess, hold on, wait. If I can't put it here, can't put it here, I have to do one of these two. Which means it has to be in that left column. It's down here. The options are the middle or the left, and the middle is the only one left. The only one remaining. Sorry. By default, it has to be there. That won't help me solve anything, so okay. Red's not ready yet. That blue is not ready yet. That blue is, though, right there. I see that. I see you. So all three of those, that one, that one. There we go. Cool. All right, that's another one down. That's useless. Thanks. Okay. Slowly chipping away at it, one thing at a time. We'll get there. Tempted to cheat a little bit to make this move a little faster. I have to finish my laundry. I have to put away my leftovers. I have to go to bed. It's already 11:40. That purple is kind of useless to me right now, because it's not telling me enough on where things can and can't go. Too many cans, not enough can'ts. Don't you start with me. All right, I'm gonna cheat a teeny bit because I really do not have the patience or the energy to do a Sudoku puzzle in this moment at this time. Let me just see here. I'll fill out one of the squares and that should make this a little easier. So this one is red. That's yellow. Yeah, here is yellow. I was gonna say that doesn't make sense. That is this purple. Okay, that is orange. What are we calling orange? That is orange. I would say salmon, but okay, I'm broken, I guess. Which leaves this teal, blue, green, the fourth from the top. Okay. Okay, and with that, I should be able to slam out a couple more real quick. Hopefully. I mean, I have the thing over here. It's all numbers instead of using colors. I don't know why, because it's a picture of a table. Instead of just using colors, we could have just made a table with colors instead. Here we are, I guess. I'm really... I'm going to keep cheating until I see a better solution. I would just call that pink, but I guess I'm just orange. Yep. Means that's orange. There we go. See, this is what I want. That light blue. Okay. 4 is red. Yeah, that's done. How about the 4's here? Wait, why am I doing it this way? This doesn't make sense. Hold on. If I'm gonna cheat, let me just cheat, you know? Ah! Game Boomers doesn't have images anymore. It's not very helpful, but I can hopefully slam it out. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay. Trying to go fast. As fast as I can. Okay, we should be able to quickly finish now. And boop. Take the thing, take the thing. Don't stay long. Just go. Just go. Apparently the word ass triggered Maho Mod, so that's funny. Also, where's the Easter egg? How do I get the Easter egg here? Show me where the Easter egg is. Wait, did I miss anything in here? Nope. There are 3 eggs. Oh. Far right, past the rocks to the point where Nancy talks about start, then go to the city area, use the metal detector. Okay, so it should just be over this way. Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the save button on here too, just in case.
Oops, don't want to go bugging those sharks.
It's right here. Easter egg, cool. Oi! Before Nancy dies, we don't want Nancy to die again. Where's the boat? Where's the boat? Okay. Oy, okay. Didn't die. We'll go back to the mainland? No. We'll go back to the island. And we'll call it a night.
Whoever you are, I get the picture.
Time is running out for you and your friend to find the treasure now. Nancy looks at it and she's just like, ugh.
How's it going?
Have you talked to the parrot over there?
Yeah, but it acts like it doesn't like me.
I think it's related to a parrot I met over in England.
Is that good or bad?
I'm not sure. With both of them, their favorite thing seems to be eating. But if you feed it a guava, this one will do tricks.
Really? Maybe I'll try talking to it again.
I keep finding dials all over the place.
Do you think they're important?
I hope so.
Because despite their cumbersomeness, you feel strangely compelled to collect them. You know, Nance, if this detective stuff doesn't pan out, there may just be a career for you in trash collection.
Wow.
Very funny, George.
Fucking read to
In
filth.
order to follow the clues in El Toro's journal, I've had to do some scuba diving.
Scuba diving? Are you nuts? With all the sharks around here?
George, contrary to what the movies would have you believe, sharks rarely attack humans, especially when they live in a healthy ecosystem like this, where they have lots of real fish to eat.
As long as we're not in Martha's Vineyard, we're fine.
To bother me.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, still. If a shark gets too close, you just pretend it's one of the kidnappers and punch it right in the nose.
I'd better get back to work.
You know where to find me.
You know where to find me. All right, you. All right, I'm not sure what's going to happen when I close this game. Sometimes it bugs out the whole thing. Don't need to save, and I'm still live. Nothing crashed, so I'm going to go ahead and say it was a full success, and we're all set. That is our stream for tonight. We ended up going all the way to midnight. That was an accident, but whatever. We're fine. It's cool. But yeah, that's our stream. And that was the beginning of Ransom of the Seven Ships. One of the, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, one of the worst Nancy Drew games that has ever been made. You'll see the real oofery later. But we'll get to all the reasons why it's not good later. There are some small redeeming features, so I will say that. But that is the end of our stream tonight. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for sticking with me through the long diatribe I had about Martha's Vineyard, and what a very interesting time I had. I had a good time. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and I would like to go back. However, there were some caveats to that. I think I'm going to need to know more about places to go and when they're actually open, instead of when they just say they're open and aren't actually open or whatever, you know. All the museums, like I said, were closed. There was no indication that they were closed until you got there and saw that they were closed. Even their hours online said they were supposed to be open, so stuff like that. Anyway, that's our stream for tonight. Thank you all for joining. I want to do a shout out to my subscribers. Thank you so much for the support that you're able to give me. All of that you did today, even the birthday subathon. Thank you so much. I love that we're playing a shitty game for my birthday stream, but so be it. But thank you to all the support that you're able to give. If you would like to subscribe, you can hit that button down below. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you do actually get one free Twitch subscription with your Amazon Prime benefits. So if you would be willing to give that to me, I would be very much delighted. I also want to thank my followers. Thank you so much for the support that you are able to give the channel. It means a lot. If you hit that button down below, you will get notified when I go live. If you want to be notified ahead of time, you can follow me at BOSTrophyWife on Instagram, at BOSTrophyWife on Twitter, and at BostonTrophyWife.bsky.social on Blue Sky. I am also over on Discord. We have a little Discord server. It's a lovely place. We share recipes. We talk about the games we're playing. We do memes, and we talk about games we're going to play. So if you want to have a say in what this channel plays next after we're done with Nancy Drew, that is the best place to do it. So definitely check that out if you're so inclined. I do also have a stream archive up on YouTube all the way over there, BOSTrophyWife, same username as these ones here. That is my entire archive going back to the beginning of when I started streaming with an Answered You series. So if you want to see what I thought about it back then compared to what I think about it now as I'm doing my tier list, that is a cool way to check that out. And then finally, I do have a GoFundMe that I'm currently raising money for. I'm very happy to announce that we hit my $3,000 goal this last week. I'm so very happy that we were able to get to that point. The bad news is that some things have changed and stuff got shuffled around, and I did end up raising the goal to $4,000 to hopefully cover some of those new expenses. I don't think it's necessarily it's not a deal breaker by any means. Surgery will happen. Everything is kind of going to be in place. My care team just had a little bit of a change in things, and I am going to probably need to cover a little bit more in transportation expenses. So that all being said, I've raised my goal. I'm still fundraising. Anything that goes up above that, I will still be using. So if you are so inclined to share this around, if you've already donated, thank you so much for the support that you're able to give. If you can share this as well, that would be marvelous as well. So again, super excited we hit my initial goal. I never thought I was going to be able to get that kind of money through a GoFundMe like this, and to have that goal met. Even the $2,000, the first $2,000 that I raised in the first couple of weeks, was mind-blowing and truly heartwarming. So thank you all for your support. Even if you were only able to share it, it means a ton to me. So thank you all for the support that you've given and the support that you're able to give. Unfortunately, I have figured out that I'm not going to be able to finish the Nancy Drew playthrough before my surgery, which sucks. So I guess we're going to have to put it on hold, put my tier list on hold until I come back. That being said, I can probably come back to this before I can go back to work, because this is a relatively short engagement. Might just have to do shorter streams potentially, but I might be able to do more frequent streams. So I guess keep an eye out for that when we get there. Anyway, that is the end of our stream today. Thank you all for joining. I will look forward to seeing you all again on Thursday, when we will hopefully finish Ransom of the Seven Ships. I'm not exactly sure where we are in terms of the order of things. We are kind of clocking along with some of the puzzles, and I will try and start a little earlier if I can, but otherwise, have a great night, everyone. I will see you all soon. Until then, take care, sleep well, and see you on Thursday. Bye-bye, everybody. Mwah.